volume is okay. I have heard people saying that the volume sometimes is a little low. So if somebody can tell me how that's working, I would appreciate it. I'm trying to connect to the chat here. I see a few of you already here. Let me see if I can connect. There we go. Okay. Looks like we're making it. Haha. Hi, Adrian and Louise and Elizabeth, Kathy and Kiwi. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Okay. First of all, volume check. Can you guys hear me? Okay. It sounds like, let me see. I'm just trying to organize my stuff in here. Sounds good? Okay. That's a good start. I am glad. Hi, Kim. How are you? I'm glad. Something I like more about this software, guys, is that actually the there's a time between you type, so I'm always a little bit ahead. But this one is pretty good, so I am glad that it sounds good. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody was mentioning that it was a little low when she was listening, and it was the replay, and I don't know if that's the reasoning why. I'm like, really don't know. And I have to, okay, let me come back here in the frame. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Hi, Tara. Hi, everybody. Matthew, how are you? Oh, my goodness, from Australia. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. Phew. So, full disclosure, guys. We're going to have to work together a lot. So, I have cut out some stuff. I have not done everything like I always have. In my defense, guys, we celebrated my father-in-law's birthday on Sunday, and we were doing some special things here in the house, and I was not able to really be crafting. I know Elizabeth knows a little bit about it. Because yeah, we've been doing some stuff here in the house. So that said, I do have a really fun easel card that it's by no means, anything as spectacular, but it is a great option for many things. I have one other one. Hey, Carrie, how are you? Oh, hi, Tracy. Carrie, didn't you mention that your sister was in Florida? Anyways, I remember something like that. Maybe I'm mistaken. So, anyways, the first things first, just really, really praying, and I hope you're all too, for all those that were affected by Helene. Obviously, it's just a disaster out there, and I've been seeing videos, and just it's shocked me. I have to be like fully honest with you. It's not that I don't know that there's disasters, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know why it really shocked me. And now I'm really praying for those in the path of Milton, and I just praying really hard that either it does like a hard right and moves out of the way, or it really kind of it goes from category 5, which I read it was the last into, I don't know, 1 or something. I don't think it's gonna be, but hey, it's all in his hands. So I just want to say that for all of you who may be in Florida, we're praying for you. Okay, I was saying, hi Gerda, how are you? This is a super cool easel. Hi Nicole. Okay, thank you, Carrie. I am glad that they should be okay. This is a fun easel card. It's not like a super fancy fold, but I really like it. I think it has a lot of potential. It's one of those cards I really wanted to do like 5 of them. Hi, Sus and Carol, and I have to tell you, I did not have time. I have one really beautiful option, and we'll see how today's plays out. I'm going to tell you something really funny. I've been working, so I told you guys, and I've shown you that I have, and I don't know where I put it right now. It's a little bit messy here. I just started cutting things and doing things, and yeah, I should have known better and probably canceled, but I know and that we like to get together, so I figured we wanted to get together no matter what. Okay, Tara, I am glad that your son left, and I hope that he makes it safe to Georgia. We will be using the more than autumn stamp set, guys. I've said this 500 times now. I love this set. To me, it's one of those must-haves because this will be over and over and over, and you can reuse it as you want. I love the dies, of course. I don't know if I lost one already, by the way. But I love this set. So this is what we're going to be using today. Along with that, we're going to be using our decal circles. You'll see how my easel card looks like here in a minute. And then we are also going to be using that, which I have here. And I think it's called Forever Plaid Embossing Folder, which I love a lot. This is one, it's really big, but I really like this embossing folder because you guys know I love my plaid. So let me put that out there. Okay, so we are going to need for this card, we're going to use the biggest of the dies to create our easel card. Okay, so it's going to be a round easel card, which I think is going to be fun. And because this is so big, we're going to need a piece of 6 by 12. To use this piece. You can make these smaller, of course, and use a smaller size card. So I'm bringing this one here, cardstock, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out if this will do. I think this might do. This is number 3, so this is the third of the decal rectangles, I mean circles. I have to say, and I mentioned this before, so it's easier for me to reference to them. Let me see if I can see it. Okay, it's right there. So I numbered them all from 1 to, I think it's like, I don't know how many, I forget, sorry guys. Well, from biggest to smallest, and starting at 1 is the biggest. So that's easier for me to reference when we are talking about them. So if you're going to use the biggest of the circles, you'll need a piece of 6 by 12. If you're going to be using if you don't have that and you want another option, then this you'll have to use at least the number 3, and it's right there. So you know you can actually create the card because you have to double this, right? Okay, so and we're gonna do that together. I figured we can have some fun together, and let's go ahead. I'm going to score these at 6, which would be the half of that. And what we're going to do, we're going to fold this, and I know easel cards are pretty simple to do. They do not require, you know, like a lot of measurements, which I absolutely love. And in order to make this an easel card, the first part of our card is we're going to add our biggest circle in here to create that card, right? And we've done this in the past, so let me bring my, here it is, guys, my big embossing machine. Oh, Nicole says she loves round cards. For some reason, I love round cards too. And I'm like, I don't even know why. I think I just like circles a lot. Why? I am not sure. Okay, so going back to the card, here we are. We're just going to align the die a little bit towards the left of the card, leaving right there where we scored these, right? So leaving a tiny bit off so we actually are able to make this as a card base. And because I'm always messy, guys, and you know that. Actually, this is too much of a small piece. I have some extra in here, so I'm going to cut a bigger piece. And I just want to say this, you can leave as much as you want. I'm not going to leave a whole lot. I'm like, that is enough. And I would say that, so that is probably, I am seeing about a little bit less than an eighth, but not as small as the 16th, maybe. But that's more or less what I am leaving. You can leave however much you want, or however small. Just remember that the smallest you leave that gap, the flimsier your card is going to be, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So just keep that in mind. But okay, that moved a tiny bit. See, I put a post-it thingy and still move a tiny bit. So I just want these to still have, you know, a good size there, enough so that's not super flimsy. And the other thing I forgot to mention is, do make sure that this is as centered as possible with this too. And I'm seeing here that it is not, so I'm moving this a tiny bit so it is again as centered as possible within the card base. And the easiest way to do that is using the top. And as you guys can tell, this came off again for whatever reason. It's super rebellious. So I'm gonna bring the big guns here. I don't know why this is moving so much, and so I am just going to like let that go, so it's I'm not struggling with that. So going back again here, making sure it's high up there a tiny bit, and then attaching, making sure it's in the middle here so it's easier to see. I'm eyeballing it, guys, and hoping I'm doing a good eyeballing, but there we go. So now we're gonna go ahead and maybe if this goes through, okay, there we go. We'll go ahead and Nicole, you're so funny. Nicole says that when you say something like between an 8th and a 16th, it's just called a tad, and that's totally true, and that's very funny. Thank you for that. That is really, really funny. Okay, let me put this back in there. And so we're going to be left with these pieces. Oops, okay. So now what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to create a window within, hey Renee, within this piece. And you see what I was saying, if you make this too small, it's going to be like too flimsy, you see? And so this I think is going to be good. I am thinking that later on we may try to fortify these somehow. I'm trying to think what I did with the other one. I don't think I did anything with the other one, but adding a piece of paper, maybe some decoration, we'll figure out what to do with this, but because I feel that it's still a little flimsy. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so now this is again the biggest, because we're using the biggest. I'm bringing, this is number 5 from big to small, and we are going to center this in here. And I don't know why I took this off, because I was going to use it again, but there we go. So let me move this. Sorry guys, this is so big. I need to get the small one, but I don't think I'm always using the small one. I won't use the small one, so I haven't. Okay, so I would say, guys, really take some time to center this. We've talked about circles. You think that you got it, and then you cut it and you didn't get it, right? Hi Rosie, how are you? So Susie's saying I add white stock hidden under the cord. Yes, that's probably what I am going to do. Thank you, Sus. But so take some time to play with this. So you know, when you are doing this, you're like, okay, I can see this is more or less in the right spot. And of course, use a piece of post-it tape to keep it on the right place before anything. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to remove that. We're going to move that again. And I know that my so Rosie, I am doing okay. Thank you for asking. I am just getting my plates all ready. I know you guys can see how much I just really worked this through, guys. I really use use my my stamping, sorry, my die cut embossing machine. Like it's a must in my classroom, in my craft room. But I am seeing Kiwi telling Rosie that she needs to go to the back of the class, and that's where I got classroom. So okay, now I heard that click. I don't know if you guys heard it. I'm making sure it went through, and I'm going to come backwards, and I am doing that so I don't go over that. Let me move this, sorry guys, a little bit more, so I don't go over again through this area, because I really want that to not be, so be strong enough. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. We have our little piece in here, and I'm pretty sure we're going to use this here later, because of course I'm putting it away, but it's too big and I can't have it there with me. Okay, so if you know anything about easel cards, and right, easel cards are very simple in the sense of what you do is you're going to create to score this in half, and then we'll add something to it so it stands up. So we're going to do that right now. And I'm putting this again out of there. Here is my thingy. This is a little bit less than the 6 inches. I don't know if you guys can tell. It should be there to be 6 inches. It's about, it's a little bit, I'm going to say it's like 5 3/4. And that means that it is somewhere along the line. So 5.5, so 2.5 would be 5. Sorry guys, my math is never very good. You guys know 2 3/4 would be 5.5, and I would say I'm gonna go here at I'm trying to align here using that 7/8, and I know it's pretty hard to see, but I'm using, so here's the 3, and this will be 3, you know, 2 7/8. So I'm using these as a guide. So these two big lines tell me where the 2 3/4 is and where the 3 is, and so I am just kind of looking at that and making this calculation. Okay, hey Anne, how are you? I hope you're doing well. And I'm just going to score that real quick. Okay, so now we are going to fold our friend, and that's fairly decent. You can tell we did a good job at getting that on the right place. So this is going to be our card base. I do have a set already, so what we're going to do is we're going to add these to just the bottom, and I know you guys are pretty familiar with this. The only what's it named, the only rough thing here is that you know, the decal rectangles have all those little mountains, and so it's, you know, it would be ideal if you're able to kind of like align these, but it is very hard. If probably you're not, you know, live, you'll probably be able to do it because you have a little bit more time to just kind of like hang out doing that. But it's, again, it's really, really hard. So what I am going to focus really is in making sure that these fits perfectly okay within so that the width of this fits in here. And why is that? Because I have, you know, just like any of us, I'm human, and so in spite of my really good try to make this as centered as possible, you guys can tell it's not perfectly centered, and so there is a tiny bit of, this is a little bit wider than this side. So I am going to focus on that instead to make sure that, you know, you see less these, and that, you know, it looks more, what would be the right word, better aligned. I have my sweet petunia thingy here, and I know thingy is such a good word, huh? let me go back to this one 1 minute before we go further. So this is just our layer. I am going to put just one layer, partially because the difference between the all the decal rectangle, I keep saying rectangles, the decal circles, as you guys can tell, it's pretty wide. Like, it's not a regular eighth, and so it would not make sense to make another layer. I wish I could, but I didn't. So I am going to add first our yellow layer, and if you are wondering, just as I had mentioned in the previous video, I am using some of our retired paper, which you guys know I love my plaid, so this is one of those that I really like. And now we're going to add these pieces to, you know what, I'm going to hold off 1 second to add this. I was going to add this in here, but we're going to add it here in a little bit. Once we start decorating. Decorating this is very simple. I do have a few layers already in here. So I am using, sorry guys about that though, I am using a huge variety of papers from everywhere and anywhere, and I know that's not ideal, but I do want you, since I moved into these, how would you say it, these mode, maybe, I do want you to think and go back to what you have that really would work with what, you know, with everything else you have. So go back into your stash and look at your papers and mix and match, and that way you get the most out of everything you have. So here's what I have not done yet. So what's going to happen, guys, is we're going to have these open. We're going to have a beautiful scene, hopefully, and but there's not going to be really a place to write something, and I'll show you what that looks like in the other card. So I have been debating if what I want is to bring maybe a piece in here and create a, I'm gonna cut this at 5.5 on the 8.5 inch side, and I'm gonna score this at half. So what I've been thinking, guys, is kind of creating like a little booklet that will allow us to write something and then, you know, leave the decoration for the outside. And I don't know if that made any sense. I did have a booklet already created. This is where I've been struggling. So let me go back in here. So I really like this paper. I really like the whole scrapbooking kit, the paper that's in it. Like, I love it. Okay, really much, like, for real. But for whatever reason, I keep struggling with adding this paper with the, what's it called, More Than Autumn stamp set. Don't ask me why. Maybe because these are trees. They're so clearly trees to me, or I know they're trees. I should just think they're triangles. So initially, this was my first thought, guys. So I have these as a background, and then I was thinking, okay, and then I'll bring these, and these are the same size. Okay, because I thought, okay, I'll make this smaller, but I just thought it was too many layers. That happens. And so I figured the same size, so I can create my little book in here. So this is what I was looking at, and I have to tell you, I love how this looks. I just don't know, once we bring, and I have here, guys, I colored this, I want to say about a month ago, and they're still there. So I decided I needed to use them today, and so I just don't know how this would look against these. Maybe this one, no, because it's too dark. Anyways, I'm struggling with how this would look, And if it looks okay, now that I see it all together, it looks okayish. I don't know. Okay, so that's option one. Option two would be, we're keeping that one, right? Because we already have it done. Actually, I was going to make it again, but, and then like adding these instead, and these in here. So let's do this kind of like that. And so when we have this in here, then we'll bring back those pieces, and I just think they just look so much better against the yellow. And of course we'll try to avoid yellow in there, but then we can use some other of these pieces. So that sounds good, sis. So what do you guys think? Right, I think that this background is too dark. Am I making that up, guys? Am I being too picky? So going back in here, so this would be option one, right? And then we'll put this, and these are not going to be necessarily like that against it, but I'm just wondering what you guys think. I'll wait here for a couple of seconds to see what's your advice. I just think that this takes a little bit away, because in the end, this is how the card is going to look, right? And so it takes a little bit away from the actual coloring of the pieces, right? And so anyways, I see Sue saying yellow and option one. So this would be option one. Well, we decide, because I've not made this up completely. So this would be the other one. So something along those lines. See, because I know the paper is very simple, but it really brings... So Adrian is saying, how about doing this way instead? That's a good point. I like this one too. I will remove this and bring some of the yellows. I think I like that one too. Anyways, guys, let me think. So I see option one, which would be this option with this one. I thought about this, but I really don't like that. Sorry. I think I'm liking a lot this third option. Yeah, I like this third option better. So thank you, Adrian, for your suggestion. We'll just need to, oh wait, cut this. Just making sure I have the right one, because there's so many of these, guys. And so I'm just going to cut these. It's too small, so we actually need another one. This is the one we need. And I'm just going to run this through the embossing machine. 1 second. Okay, guys, I am out here. I hope that you guys sort of can hear me. I just don't want to bring this big thing back again. So, okay, there we go. So we have a winner. So I am going to add these to our piece. So this would go added towards our little booklet, and you guys can tell there's a tiny space in there, but that's going to be okay because this is going to go against this, but we'll have the option to open and close this, and I really like that idea. So we have, you know, you have, sorry, you're able to put something in here and be able to write a note and whatnot. So I'm gonna now add these bees to our yellow layer, and just making sure I have everything where it needs to go, right? So there is our opening. So okay, and finally we'll add this to our white. So this is a very, very old, I mean, I wouldn't say very old. I would say with a few years worth of old DSP. It's really one of my favorites. And it's just the pattern option because I like how it's muted, and it just creates, it's like really, really rich. I don't know. And I was starting when I when these wear out, and I pretty much got every paper of it, and I have not used it because when I was starting I didn't understand very well how the whole retiring thing worked. And so yeah, that was a thing. Sorry guys. That was a thing. That was a learning curve. Okay, so there we go. So this is how this is going to look. Now I'm bringing this one up here, is what's going to be back in there looking pretty. And now we're going to decorate this. And by the way guys, I have no clue what we're going to do. So there's that. And I actually already messed this up a tiny bit, so because I needed to, well, we have some options. We have some leeway there. Because we're going to have these stuff kind of like hanging. So let's go ahead and add this. I'm double guessing if we need to add this yet, but I think it's a good idea because it gives us a real feel of how we're going to attach this, or we're going to do this. Okay, so this is our card so far. This is going to be like this, and then, you know, when you open, you'll be able to just get this up. There is a movement in there because this was a little bigger, but it opens well. So I think that in the end, maybe it's better to just chop that off. I didn't think much about it, but in your case, if you're going to do something like this, then chop it. And that's it. It's very, again, that's very simple. Now, let's go ahead and figure out how to decorate this, guys, because I have a few ideas of what I want, but I am not totally sure of how I want it. So let's start with the basics. So a part of me is like, oh, we need to add another circle. No. Then I decided that is definitely not what we want. I want to get back, and I have these two here. These are, oh my goodness, stylish shapes. And oh, good. Yes, and that's so good news. I like these stylish shapes very much. They have circles, they have squares, but I think I want something that will give it a bigger statement. I'm gonna bring something, but I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not promoting it, but I did think that cutting one of these grateful in here and putting it, so this is foiled, and it's foiled in orange. It's a pretty burnt orange. I don't know if you guys can tell. And so I thought like that would look super cool in here, just so it goes in. And I have the dies for these guys, but I'm going to cut it so you guys have an idea what I was thinking of. So, and this is not like super cutting, but it's easier to see. Okay, so my thought is like this would look so beautiful here on the bottom, right? And then you can just put this decoration in here. Now, what I really want to do too, so two things I'm going to do. One of them is I want these hanging, guys. Okay, so we're going to cut a few, and actually let's do that now. So these are just all stamp, you know, backs of stamps. Yeah, they're the back of the stamp sets. So let me move this in here for 1 second, and we're going to cut a few pieces of them. I'm going to cut them, I want to say 3/8 of an inch. And I'm going to cut, I don't know, maybe of different heights, about 3 or 4. I'm going to cut, let's start with 3. So these are about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and this one is a little bit bigger. But that's totally up to you. Whoops, sorry guys, I'm sorry, this keeps making so much noise. And so what I want, so here's a card where what I want is that when we get this up, and that's what I told you guys that I had made a mistake already, but I don't want to do it on the back because then I feel that I'm forced. It won't look that bad, but it looks good getting it there. It's getting there. So my thought process is, and I need to get out of this idea, is I really like the idea of the grateful thingy here. But we'll have, I'm bringing this one, so we'll have one of these and then one of these, and we can use just one to attach them all together. And I'll think about that. Now around here, because we don't have layers, I think we'll be able to use some of these that I had already colored to. And I am thinking that, you know, just those, the cookie, and some of the other, here goes, no, I want my pumpkins. So something like that. So you have a little bit of a decoration, and because I've been thinking about it, I think that I am going to bring this nothing's better than, right? And so we'll put this one in here, kind of the same idea. So this will go up here. We'll have nothing's better than, or maybe this nothing's better than in here. Let me think about this, guys, because this would be too big. Let me cut a piece. Let's cut a piece of these. I think that's about 1 inch wide. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that is kind of what I'm thinking, but we're going to go to 3/4 of an inch and see if this works. So if I put nothing's better than, and I make it like right here, and then I can put in here, we have, so I may stamp this instead, guys. I just changed my mind, sorry. So they have a nothing's better than, right, in these, but I like that it's really thin, so that makes it easier for us to just put it in here like a little decoration. So let's go ahead and bring our nothing's better than, which is right here, and we're going to stamp these as best as we can. And I am thinking we are going to use early espresso, so it's very clear. And sorry guys, I just got an idea. So I'm just making sure this fits. Let's see, I'm just going to stamp this there to see if this fits. Okay, it does. So I'm going to cut a little piece in here, and we are going to stamp these. So I'll be right back. Just wish me luck that I don't lose any any of the dies. That's what's killing me, because I'm working this so disorganized that I'm like thinking we're going to lose dies. Okay, there we go. So we have this one. We're going to use that one, and we're going to just really ink our Nothing's Better Than, hoping we actually stamp this correctly. I'm going up here, guys, because that's the easiest way for me to stamp when I am not, you know what, you guys can explain why I like to complicate myself. Okay, let me remove these things out of here. If I have a Misty, I'm going to use it, right? Why am I not using my Misty? That's so dumb. So, bringing Nothing's Better Than here. And it fits like, okay, you guys can't see what I'm doing because I have such a huge mess in here. Let's remove stuff, moving. There we go. Okay, so we've done this in the past. If you don't have a, you know, sticky pad or sticky, however they're called, I don't have one. So I decided to use some masking paper because that works really well for me. And so I'm just going to align this all the way to the bottom, guys, so it stays there. And once you have that, then you're able to use your magnets without a problem. And now we can really align this good. It fits just exactly, and it looks like you're not seeing. There we go. I'm making sure this is straight. It is pretty. Let me move this back again. Sorry, guys. Takes some planning. Some of these things take some planning, and that's what, you know, we get for me not being really prepared. So this is moving quite a lot for whatever reason. So I'm going back in here, and that does not seem very straight. Oh, my big head was not there. I think that is straight enough. And it's still moving. You guys can tell that it's moving. Okay, so going back in here, I'm aligning this to both of these sides. So however much it moves, it won't move enough. And hopefully this helps me finally be able to set this up, guys. I swear to God, I know what I'm doing. And I shouldn't have said I swear to God. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes old habits are hard to break. Okay, I think I got this. Miracles happen. Okay, and you guys can't see where I'm at, but really today is very, very messy in here. Like for real. Okay, so I'm getting this back out. We'll leave that there for a minute. And now we have, now I like this better. I just threw a pumpkin. Let me get it back. Okay, so I can actually have this one in here on this side, and that's where I want it. And do make sure that you're always aware of like the real like the real center, otherwise you know it will be cricket. So I'm making sure I'm aware of that. So this helps because this will actually cover some of these, and I am going to put this one first. So Nothing's Better Than. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the side, and that was not a little bit enough, of course. And I'm actually turning these back in here, like standing it up, because it helps me better to see where you know, like it's well, like straight for whatever reason. I'm making sure there's nothing in the back, but I can see what's in the back. Okay, no, we did a good job there. Okay, So we have our nothing's better than, and then we're going to bring our little plastic pieces, which is also going to give some stability to this, and that is pretty cool that things happen that way. That's trying to dry. So while that dries, because I don't want to mess with that, we have to define what we want in here. And I decided I don't want dies, because I think you should have like dies and dies. I don't know. And by the way, so this just fell into the ink. That happens. I would like to say nothing's better than autumn, because that's me. I love autumn, but that is not a very big stamp, and I want something more noticeable. You guys, what you guys think, right? Like this seems too small. So we have pumpkin spice season. I don't like that. I don't like pumpkin. Well, I don't know if I like pumpkin spice. I've not tried it, so I'm just trying to figure out how I want this. And I think I have an idea. So I want this in here. I don't know, guys. I'm stuck. See, that's why I should like prepare, and I'm not prepared. I'm gonna cut a piece in these. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this one, which of course came in a little bit dirty, because why not? So I'm thinking if I put this in here, how does that look? I don't know. I'm debating. So here's my debating process, because what I was thinking is I can actually, okay, it has to be another, because let me show you. It got dirty. I don't even know how it got dirty, but it's dirty, so. Sorry guys, I'm looking for a piece of white that I thought I had there, but it's not white, so that was not going to work, of course. So something is going on here. This is dirty again, so yeah. So what I was thinking is if I put this here and I put my autumn here, then I'll put that one here, so it'll be noticeable, but this can be our stop for the easel card. So because this got dirty yet again, I'm just going to bring my, this is my early espresso, and I'm going to go and kind of go around it, so we, you know, create kind of darken those edges, and then we're going to like go all in there, so it looks like this was totally planned. And there we go. And now we're going to come with the autumn, and we're going to stamp that one. And I'm going to keep using the early espresso, and I'm going to come up here for a second, and I'm hoping this is not straight. There it goes. Well, that's decent enough. Okay, so we survived that. Let's see how this goes, how this really looks. So we'll need to put these on a dimensional or couple dimensionals, right? But before we put them, I'm gonna center this like that. That's the other thing. We need to make sure that this is there on the right spot. And then this will hold this later. Okay, let me see, guys. I'm trying to center this. It's easy to do this with this up. I don't know why, but that's how I think this is going to go. So I'm going to take that one out and the other one out. Okay, we're almost there, guys. I'm so sorry it's taking a little bit longer. Okay, so now this is how this is going to look, and actually, look at that. I made a mistake. This was not straight, but I like the fact that it's not straight and that this one's straight. So it looks super, super cute. And let's bring now these. That will be, so I'm going to leave it there. So it's definitely a guide, right? Because we do want these to be centered. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue. And this is dry, so not that glue, but a little bit of glue here. And we are going to move this. I'm going back in here, guys, so I can actually see and make sure that that it is straight. And you guys can see that mess I did. Okay. I'm not super concerned because that's going to dry. And we know that Tombow dry is really, it dries. I am so much troubling here, guys. It's funny. Okay, so there's one, and so that one is there, and I think I like the idea of having this one in here. So this one is going to go on top of this. So I am actually going to, before I attach that, actually, let me bring the other one right here. And so I'm going to bring this one. I had another one that was a little longer. Let me see if I can find it. The fact that they're, you know, they're not invisible, but they're transparent makes it a little harder. So I'm going to cut another piece. We have said these are 3/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, sorry. And I am making these more like 2 inches. Okay, let's see if that's too big. And that's okay if it's too big or long, I meant. So sorry guys, I'm moving too much. Bottom line, you do have to do attaching these things ahead of time before gluing this, and I didn't think much about that. So that's totally on me. But this is really rebellious for whatever reason. Let me see. Okay. Okay guys, I'm so sorry. Let's see if this works. Okay, that works a little better, because my thought is we'll attach that one there, and then we'll bring this one here, but then we'll have another spot to add this, and that's why I am thinking of that. So let's add these pieces as well. And like I said, I'm sorry I'm not prepared, and I'll try to do better next week. Okay, so now we have those 2 pieces. You guys can see them. And now we're going to add, first we're going to add a little bit of glue in here where this meets there so it gets glued. And we're going to use our other piece. So our, let me bring this one, sorry guys. I'm bringing the orange one and we're going to glue it in there. So I'm just going to add glue initially to the top because I know that I can add this in here. And then we'll turn this around and see where do we need to put the glue at. So it's like a safer bet. And we don't just put glue all around. Thank you, Adrian, you're so nice. I just feel that I should, you know, prepare for these. If I have like struggles on what I want, then it takes longer. So I apologize for that. But, well, this is what happens when I'm working. Ha ha. Oh, well, thank you. You guys just like me very much. That's all that's happening. So I'm going to bring these up here like that. So towards this side. And then we can bring, so I do have another one in yellow. And we can bring this piece attached to this. I do want to do a couple of things first. So I want a hint of red in these. And I had colored this one. So I'm going to bring that apple in there. I actually don't want the apple, sorry. I'm just going to bring one of the pumpkins. And I'm just going to bring that one there, and it just looks so adorable. And we're going to bring this one in here. I do have some foam for this, and we're going to put the foam on it. So all I'm going to do is add a, you know, just a little bit of glue right at the top, and we'll add these to that. And we'll give this a second. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, guys. Yeah. It's just like Tara will say, it's my CDO. It's my OCD kicks in when these things happen, and I definitely would like for that to be better, but I also, it's either that or not going live. And I think that we have a whole lot of fun in here going live, and so I really rather go live than not. And I'm going to turn these back so I can see what mess I made, which I did quite a mess there, as you can see. So I'm moving these, making sure it's all set up. Oh, you're so kind, Nicole. That's so kind of you. It's definitely one of my, so Nicole is saying it's something about my coloring, and I just have to say it's obviously one of my favorite things to do. There's no doubt about it. I just love coloring because this is yellow and does not have a whole lot on it. I am just going to use this to glue these three together. So I'm going to put it underneath a little bit. So I'm going to bring glue in here, and you see what I'm saying? So I am putting it underneath the donut. So it's going to hold that, and it's going to give it some strength. And then I'm going to hold that corner, or add that corner to my cup in here. And that will make it stable, like all together. And let me remove that. So that way you have, not that way, Maria. Let's see. There we go. That way you, these moves, this, it's hanging, but it's not like flimsy. And I don't know if that makes sense. And then we have, so that's part of it. Now I am going to bring all those. Thank you, thank you. Like, it's really, that's what happens, right? If I am not totally ready, then I feel like, you know, I shouldn't go live, and then I just don't go live. And because I put so many things into, you know, the cards, that they are kind of on the longer, they take a long time, right? And I just don't like that. So this is straight, so I'm going to bring a few of these as decorations in here. So we have like, let's see, I lost one. I thought we had more of these, but I think I want to bring this one in here because it's so freaking cute. I love these gingerbreads. They're so cute. And you guys know what I keep thinking of? I just keep thinking of Shrek, the movie. I don't know, guys. Thanks. I'm that person. And I bring that one in there, and one in here. The other one that is so adorable. And then we'll just bring one last of these pumpkins up here, kind of right there. Okay, we have other stuff in here. So this is how this would look when it's opened. So you'll have that nothing's better than you have our little decoration there, and here's autumn. Because the autumn is there, we can totally add another piece of this. I'm just wondering what would be better. I don't like that. I have a few of these. As you guys can tell, I got really not the red one. So we have a yellow donut that we can totally put in there. And I think that will totally set the deal. And we still have some of these pumpkins. So because there's nothing really busy in here, I think I can do a pumpkin there. So it's barely noticeable. You see what it is there? Like something like that. So it's part of the whole portion in here, the whole visual space. I wish I had another. Well, I know I had another one, I just don't know what is that. So let's just be really honest. Okay, so that's our card. Now this one is going to open here. I don't know if you guys can still hear it. Here it is. So we have this one. I have another circle. We can put this one. You can put something bigger. You can put something smaller. I'm trying to see if I have something smaller so I don't have to go there again, but I don't. Oh, I have the same. I just would say, you know, use whatever you want. I can still use some extra decorations in here because I have a few of them. And so, for example, I can bring this brown donut, which I really like, or some of that pie, and you can put something else, right? But that's it. Isn't that really so super cute? Kiwi. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. So I'm not sure I want this one. I have to be honest. I think I want something bigger. So I'm going to refrain of adding these right now because I just really want something bigger. I know I had, sorry guys. I don't know what that little gingerbread man went to. Oh, so let's see what we want in here. For our gems. So there's a few options that I have. These are retired as well, but I really have liked these ones. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I didn't see that question. Sorry, Anne. So we could use one of these. Now that I think about it, that's not going to work very well. So let's keep looking. I think that in here we will need something more like more yellow, maybe. Let's see. What I have that is yellowish. I don't know what is that. I'm looking for the 2024 20, well, maybe this can do. Let me see if I find them. Let's check. Oh, okay. So we have this option, and these actually are in the new mini catalog. These are called faux glass dots, but they have, I like that they have these colors, and this is like a yellowish one. And of course that didn't work. And let's see how that looks. Or do we want this more like, or do we want a combination of them? I think I like that one better. It's a little bit more lively. So I'm going to put two together. Almost, yeah, aligned to each other. And then I want to bring another one. And we're going to just add it right there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I have done this lately. I don't know why I've been doing that. So I'm going to put 2 and 2. I know it's supposed to be 3, but oh well. We have 2 and 2. And I like how that looks. So this is kind of what I was telling you earlier, guys, about, or in the other video, about me not using what I have. So look, I ordered this a while back, and I have not, this is the first a few that I used. And so I really need to get using my stuff. So okay, there we go. That's a really fun card. It is super, super fun. I think it is super cute. I have a couple of announcements. Nothing scary. No, let me show you the other one. The other one was really well thought out, and you can tell. And this is amazing. I absolutely love it. This is using that suite that's in the annual catalog. I forgot to tell you guys that we have a sale in stamps from the annual catalog. So if you are missing something, this is your time. But look how cute this is. So this is well thought out. Like I said, I have this is colored in, and it's kind of like you have this idea of the plane flying. And then I'm using just really the paper as a guide, and then just cut a little piece, and that is my thing that will hold it together. So yes, if you put a little bit more thought into it, it will look a little bit better. I am sorry, but I have to be honest, guys. I really wanted to use these things that I colored, and I am like, I am going to use them today. Is the day, and that's it. Now if you see this one, which is really cute, I mean, I have a solution. Of course, you can put a white, so remember that one that I got, so you can put this white piece in here, right, and this be the area where you write, and you can stamp, you know, whatever, but there's no other area, and that's why I did come up with the idea of just having an area where you can write, guys. So instead of having to go into the back, this is driving me insane. Let me remove it. That's just a little bit of glue. There you go. So you know, but it's just a little extra, so you have an area to write instead. But you can use, oops, that's not working. You can use the back as well. So I'm just saying, you know, those are options. And actually you can put something else in here that you like. But this is, yeah, this is one of my favorites, I have to tell you. I love it. I love it. It's very simple to make. And this is just colored. It looks really cute, I have to say. So, yeah, that's our card today. Yay! We made it, guys. We made it. Just a super quick announcement. Okay. So I have been I have been playing around with my option. Now let me show you this, because don't tell nobody, but if I would have had this in here, that would have been really cute. Just the word grateful, that would have been a great, or on the top and then stuff in the bottom, but just want to show you. Okay, so I have been looking at options for the newsletter. I've not been able to figure that out well, and one of the things that I'm lacking is time to sit down to write. I am not a writer. I I am not a writer. Like, I do not. So here's two things that I have in mind. And sorry, my hand's coming up and down. So the first thing is I know that I have not like finished the PDF tutorial for last week, and that is partially because I have not started the blog, because I had not had time to sit down and do the blog. Just in my defense, I'm also canning, and I'm canning, you know, we had this beautiful harvest of things, which is amazing, but it means me taking times, you know, all night or whatever after work canning. And so that is part of what makes it a little bit harder to sit down and write. So I'm just bringing that out. So my thought process is, I think that what I am going to do is I'm going to slowly get back to the blog, but I will add the PDF tutorial directly to the link below, because I still have tomatoes to can and prepare and all that good stuff. And so I still have time that I have to destine for that. And so I think if I just do the PDF tutorial and write it here, or attach it here, then you'll have access to that until I am actually sitting down to write the blog post. That's one thing. The second thing is, to make it easier for some people, because again, the writing, I will add the measurements directly down below. So in this one, there's not really a whole lot of measurements to include, right? Except being mindful that if you're using the big option, the big circle, you'll need a 12 by 6, but there's not really measurements because all is just using the dies. So it's pretty simple. This one is pretty simple, but I will add last week's because I have not added that. And so I will add those two down below tonight. So, well, this one for today's and last week's. So you have access to that, and you're able to make those cards if you're interested. Last week, I think it was a really useful and fun interactive card. So, I'm gonna do that tonight, and then I'll add the link for the PDF tutorial for these and for the other one directly in the description below. So I know that's a little different than what I've been doing before, but that will help me not having to sit down and write, you know, a whole lot, because again, I am just not good at it, guys. Let's just face it. And I think that is it. Yes, I think that's it, guys. I completely spaced out if there was anything else. I will try to be live on Friday for the paper pumpkin kit. I really need to use it. I bought an extra paper pumpkin kit in order to send fall cards, because I don't have any. So I think I'll be using these because I love them. Hi Joanne, how are you? Along with that kit, and it's just gonna look lovely. And the last thing, okay, this is, if you are a client of mine, a customer of mine, I'm giving this away. These are mine. These have been used, but I am giving them away. So if you are interested in them, please send me an email to mariamariascraftycorner.com, and I will include you in a raffle, and I will send this in a raffle for somebody. I still have to send the last raffle I made, which was the kit, one of the kits, and I will send that as well this week. But so send me an email if you're a customer of mine, and you know, just send me an email and I'll be sending these. Oh, Joan. Yes, take care of what you need to take care of. But again, if you're a customer of mine, just send me an email if you want to participate in this raffle, and then I'll, do the raffle and send it to you. I just decided that I am not using them enough, and it does not make sense for me to keep them. And so I'll send these to somebody that may use them more. So that's one thing. And the other one that I am going to give away, so this is one, and this is just a general giveaway. General thanks for guys being here is this. It's being opened, but I am going to give the very famous real red and white peppermints. I know that people love them. I love them as well, but for some reason I have not used them. So I'm going to be giving this away. I'll make that more like a post in Facebook and all that good stuff. But just so you know. The last thing I forgot to say is one of the things that I really liked about this card is that you can actually, if you have, for example, the Christmas ornaments, like the tree ornaments, the stamp set, or just the dies, you can decorate everything and make like a little decoration here with that, like making an extra tree ornament, and I think that's super cute. That's a really good idea. The other thing is you can make these a whole ornament, right? Even if it's also a card, you can make these, just put something in the backing here for Christmas, and then they're also able to hang your Christmas card in their tree if they choose to do so. So those are two ideas that I wanted to share, that came to me, and that I think that it's just a lot of fun. Okay guys, so again, we will be hopefully live on Friday. I hope to see you then. Thank you for being so caring and so understanding. I love crafting. But sometimes I'm slow and it's been busy. That's my excuse. But it's been really busy. And but I do want to keep doing this. In my defense, I really want to keep doing this. If you guys are a little bit more flexible with me, in the sense of me starting from the beginning, and not from the beginning, but from, not totally prepared, and that gives me some leeway to be able to just play with this stuff and with you in the camera. Okay. Are there any questions? Comments? That's what I do on my care conference. Are there any questions, any concerns we need to discuss right now before we hang up? Okay. So if there's nothing, guys, I really, really enjoy seeing you today. I will be adding, remember, everything to the description box. And then I will be playing with things, because I can't keep my hands from playing. And then I'll see you all on Friday. Those of you that are in Florida, please, please, please be very careful and be very safe. And we are all praying for you. So sending lots of prayers your way and lots of love. And if anybody here needs anything, please let us know. We all are great in here. We'd love to help. So let us know. Okay. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. And then I'll see you Friday. Bye.